The universe was vast, and Earth was just another speck in the cosmos. Most alien species in the galaxy had long forgotten about the tiny blue planet, assuming its inhabitants were just like any other primitive species. The Federation of Worlds, a powerful alliance of alien races, looked down on Earth, considering it too insignificant to even bother with. Earth's technology was basic, and its people were struggling to unite even among themselves. They had no idea they were sitting on the edge of a truth that could change everything. It all began when an ancient alien artifact was discovered deep beneath the Earth's surface, hidden for thousands of years. A group of researchers, digging in a remote part of Africa, stumbled upon it. At first, it seemed like just another relic from an ancient civilization. But as they dug deeper, the object started emitting strange signals, signals that no human had ever seen before. The signals were unlike anything the world had ever encountered. They were a pattern, not random static. They seemed to have a purpose. The scientists, puzzled and curious, began to analyze it, unaware that this discovery would soon set in motion events that would shake the galaxy. The signals weren't coming from any alien race. They were human. But these weren't signals from any humans alive today. It was then that the artifact suddenly activated. A rush of energy surged through the Earth, and in an instant, certain humans began to feel something stir within them. At first, it was subtle, an unnatural feeling of strength, speed, and power. Some experienced strange flashes of visions, images of ancient battles, warriors with abilities far beyond human capacity. These weren't ordinary people. They were the descendants of something far greater, something lost to time. As the artifact's energy spread, a few humans began to realize that they were no longer as they once were. They felt different, stronger, faster, and more capable. Some could move objects with their minds. Others could heal injuries with a touch. They could sense things, feel what others were thinking, and their bodies responded in ways that were beyond the natural human limits. But most importantly, they felt connected to something ancient, the war gods of old. The humans who experienced this awakening didn't know what to make of it. Some tried to ignore it, dismissing the changes as nothing more than a strange temporary effect. But for others, it was impossible to deny. Humanity had been asleep for millennia, unaware of its true power. The artifact wasn't just a relic, it was a key, and it had unlocked something deep within them. The world's governments scrambled to control the situation. News of the strange phenomena spread, but the general public didn't understand. The ancient power of the war gods, once thought to be myth, was real, and it was rising once again. The Federation, monitoring events from afar, took notice of the changes happening on Earth. They had never considered humans as anything more than primitive beings, unworthy of any real attention. But now, they were starting to realize that Earth had been hiding something incredible, something they could no longer ignore. The balance of power in the galaxy was about to shift, and the Federation was not prepared for what was coming. Humanity's forgotten legacy had been awakened, and with it, the fate of the galaxy was about to change forever. The first time the Federation noticed the changes on Earth, they thought it was just a fluke. A strange signal, a mysterious energy surge, nothing too serious. But when their intelligence reports confirmed that humans were gaining powers beyond their understanding, the Federation began to worry. They quickly realized that the small, unimportant planet they had once ignored was now becoming a dangerous threat. The Federation of Worlds had dealt with powerful civilizations before, but nothing quite like this. They could sense that Earth's awakening was something different. Humans were unlocking abilities that could rival even the greatest species in the galaxy. They were far from ready to fight a galactic war, but the Federation knew that the longer they waited, the stronger the humans would become. They had to act fast. So, the Federation sent a fleet, an overwhelming show of force meant to crush any resistance before Earth's power could truly grow. Thousands of warships, heavily armed and ready to fight, arrived in Earth's orbit. The Federation's plan was simple: destroy Earth's military, disable their communications, and take control of the planet before the humans could realize their true strength. At first, Earth's leaders were in shock. They had no idea why an alien fleet had appeared out of nowhere, much less why they were being targeted. The human government scrambled to prepare their defenses, but they were completely outmatched. No one had ever expected a direct attack from an alien race, especially one with so much firepower. However, as the alien ships moved closer to Earth, something unexpected happened. The humans who had awakened to their ancient powers, now known as the Children of the Gods, felt a surge of energy. It was as if the very planet itself was calling to them, urging them to rise and defend it. Marcus Trevin, one of the first to realize his powers, was among the first to answer the call. He was no longer just a man. He was a warrior, a descendant of the ancient gods who had once ruled the galaxy. With a single thought, he could bend the laws of physics to his will. He could move at speeds that left the human eye unable to follow. His mind was a weapon, capable of seeing the enemy's plans before they even made a move. Marcus reached out to others who had also been awakened, people across the globe who had felt the call. There were others like him, each one gaining incredible abilities. Some could control fire, others could move mountains, and some could read minds. Together, they began to form a resistance, a force unlike anything the Federation had ever seen. The first battle was swift. As the Federation's warships descended upon Earth, the Children of the Gods met them head-on. At first, the Federation didn't know what hit them. Their advanced technology, once thought to be unbeatable, was no match for the humans' newfound powers. Marcus and his warriors tore through the enemy ranks with ease, their strength and abilities making short work of the Federation's most powerful weapons. The battle seemed impossible. The Federation fleet, which had once been confident in its superiority, was now in chaos. Alien ships were torn apart in seconds, their shields useless against the sheer force of humanity's warriors. The humans, who had once been seen as weak and insignificant, were now fighting back with the fury of gods. The Federation's command was forced to retreat, pulling back to regroup. The victory on Earth was a moment of shock for the galaxy. The Children of the Gods had won. Earth had shown the universe that it was no longer a weak, defenseless world. The war gods had returned, and they were ready to fight. As the Federation retreated, Marcus stood at the front lines, staring up at the stars. This was only the beginning. The war gods had awoken, and the universe would never be the same again. The Federation might have underestimated humanity, but they had just learned a painful lesson. Never underestimate the power of a species that had been dormant for so long. After the Federation's shocking defeat, Earth's victory was quickly broadcasted across the planet. People everywhere witnessed the power of the Children of the Gods, and the world was left in awe. The idea that humans were once the rulers of the galaxy, gods who had fallen into slumber, was difficult for many to believe. But the evidence was undeniable. As humanity started to understand the true scale of their hidden power, things began to change rapidly. For years, humans had lived in a world full of division. Governments, countries, and borders separated them. They were struggling with poverty, war, and inequality. But now, with the awakening of their ancient abilities, everything changed. The people who had once felt powerless were beginning to feel their power surge. They no longer had to fight among themselves. Instead, they could unite as one force, stronger than anything the galaxy had ever seen. Marcus Trevin, now the leader of the Children of the Gods, was the first to realize that Earth needed to change. The powers awakening within the humans were not only physical but mental and spiritual as well. The war gods of old had been warriors, yes, but they were also philosophers, healers, and teachers. It was not enough to fight. Humanity had to learn how to control their power and use it wisely. He called together the brightest minds of the world, the scientists, philosophers, and military leaders, and formed the Earth Council. Together, they started to train the people who had begun to awaken their powers. It wasn't just about fighting. It was about learning. The Children of the Gods shared their knowledge, teaching others how to harness their abilities. Some could control the elements, while others could read minds or heal injuries. But all of them needed discipline. At first, it wasn't easy. The awakening process was different for everyone, and some struggled to understand their powers. Some people didn't even know what they were capable of. But Marcus and his team were patient, guiding each individual, helping them unlock their true potential. Slowly, humanity began to transform. Ordinary men and women were learning to harness godlike abilities. They were becoming a force that could rival any in the galaxy. As the training progressed, something extraordinary began to happen. People from all over the world, regardless of nationality, race, or background, began to unite. The divisions that once separated them seemed insignificant now. No one cared about borders or past conflicts. Humanity was becoming one. They had a common purpose, a new identity as the descendants of the gods. The Earth Council worked to unite all nations under one banner, the banner of the awakened humans. News of Earth's rapid rise spread quickly to the far reaches of the galaxy. The Federation, still reeling from their defeat, knew they couldn't ignore Earth any longer. They had underestimated humanity once before, and now they were beginning to see that Earth was no longer the helpless, primitive world they once thought it to be. But the Federation wasn't the only one watching. The galactic powers had always kept an eye on Earth, and now they were becoming increasingly concerned. Some saw Earth as a threat, a species with powers that could disrupt the balance of power across the galaxy. Others, more cautious, saw Earth as a potential ally, hoping that humanity's rise might bring stability to the chaos of the galaxy. As Earth's power continued to grow, the children of the gods knew that their victory over the Federation was only the beginning. The universe was vast, and humanity had only just begun to discover what it could do. They had awoken the war gods of old, but now they would need to decide what kind of future they wanted to build. Would they continue to fight for survival, or would they rise as leaders, guiding the galaxy toward peace? The choice was in their hands, and it would shape the future of not just Earth, but the entire universe. Across the stars, the galaxy's most powerful species watched Earth's rise with growing alarm. The children of the gods had proven that humanity was not to be underestimated. The Federation of Worlds had failed to crush them. And now the galaxy's most influential powers were beginning to realize that Earth had the potential to reshape the balance of power across the cosmos. Something had to be done. But what? The Galactic Council, a governing body formed by the most dominant alien species in the galaxy, convened in an emergency meeting to discuss Earth's sudden emergence as a threat. The council was made up of several ancient races, the insectoid Thrix, known for their unmatched intelligence; the Nevari, a race of beings with the ability to manipulate energy; and the Vardrians, a race of towering mechanical warriors with nearly invincible armor. These races had once ruled the galaxy together, keeping order and balance. But now, with the humans' unexpected rise to power, the council was divided. Some members argued that humanity's awakening was a natural threat to the galactic status quo. The Thrix, in particular, believed that the humans' latent abilities made them unpredictable. If they were allowed to grow any stronger, they could destabilize everything the Council had worked to build for centuries. It was better to destroy Earth now, before the situation got out of control. Others, like the Nevari, were more cautious. They saw potential in Earth's rise. The humans' power was unlike any other species in the galaxy. If properly guided, humanity could become a valuable ally, helping to stabilize the galaxy rather than disrupt it. The Nevari believed that an alliance with Earth could bring about a new era of peace and cooperation between the races. They proposed reaching out to humanity before things escalated further. The Vardrians, ever pragmatic, took a neutral stance. They weren't interested in alliances or grand ideas of peace. Their primary concern was power and control. They believed humanity's power was undeniable, but the question was whether Earth could be controlled or whether it would become a threat. They wanted to know if they could leverage humanity's strength to their advantage. After hours of debate, The Council agreed on one course of action. They would send a representative to Earth. This diplomat would be tasked with offering Earth a choice: join the Galactic Council as an ally and share in the galaxy's power, or face total destruction. The Council was confident that humanity would choose the path of submission, as most other species had done in the past. The diplomat chosen for this delicate mission was Karish, a Nevari who had spent centuries navigating the complexities of galactic politics. Karish was known for his calm demeanor and diplomatic skills, and the Council hoped he could convince humanity to join them peacefully, avoiding further conflict. But there was a challenge. Karish had never encountered a species like humanity before. He had no idea how they would respond to an offer that could either elevate them to new heights or destroy them completely. As Karish's ship entered Earth's atmosphere, he could already feel the tension in the air. He had studied Earth's history, its culture, and its recent rise to power, but nothing had prepared him for what lay ahead. The humans had proven that they were not just another species to be controlled. They had awakened something ancient, something powerful, and Karish could not shake the feeling that humanity was not interested in being anyone's ally. The diplomat's message was clear, but would humanity accept it? Or would they choose to chart their own course, unafraid of the consequences? As Karish's ship touched down on Earth's surface, he knew that the future of the galaxy hung in the balance. The choice now lay in humanity's hands. Karish had arrived on Earth with a simple message: join the Galactic Council or face destruction. But as he stepped out of his ship, he could see the tension in the air. The humans were not afraid. They were not willing to bow to any outside power, especially not after discovering their true potential. The Earth Council, led by Marcus Trevin, had already made up their minds. Earth would not be submitting to the will of the Galactic Council. Humanity had a different path to follow. Marcus Trevin stood before Karish, his eyes hard with determination. He had studied the galactic powers for years, learning their strengths and weaknesses, and he had no intention of letting Earth become a puppet of any one species. He had seen what the Federation and other galactic races had done to weaker worlds. Earth had been overlooked and underestimated for far too long, and now that humanity had awakened, there was no turning back. "We will not join you," Marcus said, his voice strong and clear. "We are not your allies. We are not your tools. Earth will chart its own path from here on out." Karish had expected this answer, but hearing it in person was something else. He knew that the Council had sent him to negotiate, but he also knew that they had given him the power to destroy Earth if necessary. The question was, could they really defeat a species that had awakened such power? The diplomat tried to reason with Marcus, offering peace, protection, and a promise of great power as part of the Galactic Council. But his words fell on deaf ears. The children of the gods were no longer interested in being part of a galaxy that had kept them hidden for so long. They had learned to harness powers that even Karish couldn't fully understand. The humans were not just capable. They were gods once more, and they intended to keep their freedom. Without warning, the first strike came. Federation warships, sent in secret, appeared out of nowhere, swarming Earth's skies. They had been ready for this confrontation, but this time, things were different. Humanity was ready to defend itself, and the children of the gods led the charge. Marcus, along with a group of the most powerful humans, took to the skies. Their powers flared to life as they met the Federation ships in orbit. One by one, the alien ships were torn apart, their weapons unable to match the raw power of Earth's defenders. Some humans could control fire, others could move objects with their minds, while others had powers far beyond comprehension. Together, they fought with the strength of gods, and the Federation was overwhelmed. Karish watched in shock as the once invincible Federation forces crumbled before humanity's might. The battle wasn't just one of physical strength. It was a battle of will, a battle of determination. Humanity's spirit was unbreakable. They had nothing left to lose, and it made them the most dangerous force in the galaxy. As the Federation ships retreated, Karish realized that this battle was only the beginning. Earth had shown that it was capable of defending itself, but the real war was just starting. The other galactic powers would not sit idly by while humanity grew stronger. The galaxy had always been divided, and now Earth had upset the balance. The diplomat, now realizing the full extent of humanity's power, knew that the fate of the galaxy was no longer in the hands of the Council. Marcus Trevin and the children of the gods had proven that they could not be controlled, and their rise was unstoppable. Karish had underestimated humanity, and now he could only watch as Earth prepared for the coming storm. The battle for Earth had been won, but the war was far from over. Humanity's true challenge was just beginning, and the galaxy would never be the same again. After the defeat of the Federation forces, Earth stood victorious. The children of the gods had shown the galaxy that they would no longer be oppressed or controlled. They had won the first battle, but the real challenge was yet to come. The galaxy was a vast and dangerous place, and now that humanity had awakened, it would not be long before other galactic powers took notice. Marcus Trevin, leader of the children of the gods, knew that Earth's survival depended on what came next. In the aftermath of the battle, Marcus called for an emergency meeting of the Earth Council. The world was on edge. The people had witnessed their powers, and many were eager for the next step. Some wanted to continue the fight, expanding their powers and preparing for the next attack. Others feared that they had angered the galaxy, and that Earth might soon face an even greater threat. "We have won," Marcus began, standing before the gathered leaders of Earth. "But the war is far from over. The Federation is only the beginning. Other races will come, and they will test us. We need to prepare for what's next, not just for ourselves, but for the future of humanity." His words echoed in the room, and a silence fell over the council. Humanity had risen to its feet, but what did they want from this power? The temptation to become conquerors, to rule over other planets, was strong. But Marcus knew that Earth's true strength would not lie in domination. It would lie in unity. "We have a choice," he continued. "We can use our powers to build an empire, take control of the galaxy, and be feared. Or we can unite as one people, one world, and bring peace. We can lead the galaxy toward a future where no one is oppressed, where all species have the freedom to grow. The galaxy does not need another conqueror. It needs a new order." His words struck a chord with many, but not all. There were those who still believed that humanity should take its place as rulers, to make sure no other species would threaten Earth again. They argued that without taking control, Earth would always be vulnerable. But Marcus stood firm. "This power isn't just for us," he said. "We've been given the strength of the gods for a reason. Not to rule, but to protect. We are the future of the galaxy, and it is time for humanity to lead by example. We must offer peace, not war." The debate raged for days, but eventually, Marcus's vision won out. Earth would not become another empire. It would create something new, a shining beacon for all species in the galaxy, a future where cooperation and peace were the guiding principles. But as humanity made its decision, Karish, the Nevari diplomat, watched from the shadows. He had returned to the Galactic Council, bringing with him news of Earth's rise. The Council had been shocked by humanity's strength, but Karish had painted a picture of Earth that many were not ready to accept. The humans were not like any other species they had encountered. They were not just warriors, they were leaders, and their ideals were dangerous to the old ways of the galaxy. The Galactic Council had always ruled through power and fear, but Earth was offering something else, an alternative to the status quo. This was a challenge they could not ignore. Some factions within the Council saw the potential for peace, but others were already plotting to stop Earth before it could fully rise. Back on Earth, Marcus and the children of the gods had no illusions. The war was not over. They had chosen peace, but they knew it might not be accepted. The galaxy was old, and old powers did not easily change. The children of the gods were ready to defend Earth again if necessary, but they hoped they would not have to. As Earth prepared to face the challenges ahead, the galaxy's most powerful forces began to gather. The true test of humanity's rise was just beginning. Would they succeed in bringing peace to the galaxy, or would they be forced into another war? Only time would tell, but one thing was certain. Humanity was no longer the weak, forgotten species of the past. They had awoken, and their journey had only just begun. The peaceful decision to lead by example had been made, but the galaxy was not prepared to let Earth's new order go unchallenged. As humanity's leaders, the children of the gods, began to lay the foundation for peace, forces across the galaxy quietly gathered. The Galactic Council was torn, but the power-hungry factions were already making plans to stop Earth before its ideals could take root. Karish, the Nevari diplomat who had once hoped to bring humanity into the fold of the Council, watched with a growing sense of unease. Despite the peace he had tried to offer, the galaxy was too fractured, too resistant to change. The old order of dominance and control had held power for eons, and it would not be overthrown easily. Marcus Triven's vision for unity was beautiful, but dangerous. And for many in the Council, it was a threat to everything they had built. The first sign of trouble came when the Vardrians, the mechanical giants who had once been neutral in the matter, suddenly made a move. They had been quietly building an alliance of their own, one designed to crush Earth's rising power. They knew that humanity's strength could either change the galaxy for the better or threaten their very existence. An entire fleet of Vardrian warships arrived in Earth's orbit, their immense metal bodies casting shadows over the planet. The message was clear. Earth would not be allowed to rise without opposition. But the children of the gods were prepared. They had been training, uniting their strength and skills. For this very moment, they had come too far to back down now. Marcus Treven stood in front of the Earth Council once more, addressing the leaders of humanity. "This is what we feared," he said. "The galaxy will not accept us as equals. They want to destroy us before we can change anything. But we will not let them. We are not just fighting for Earth, we are fighting for the future of the galaxy." The children of the gods, each with their unique powers, gathered to face the Vardrians. Humanity had chosen the path of peace, but they had no intention of letting their enemies destroy the world they had fought so hard to protect. They would stand their ground, not as conquerors, but as defenders of a new vision for the future. The battle began with a clash of unimaginable forces. The Vardrian ships, made of indestructible metal, seemed unstoppable at first, but humanity's warriors were different. Their power was not in technology, it was in themselves. With a thought, they shattered the Vardrian warships in midair. Marcus led the charge, his mind connecting with others across the planet, calling upon the children of the gods to unite in a single powerful strike. The sky above Earth erupted with light as the warriors fought back with everything they had. The Vardrians, powerful as they were, soon realized they had underestimated humanity. The humans were not just fighting for survival, they were fighting for their future. The battle raged on, and one by one, the Vardrian ships fell. The galaxy watched in stunned silence as Earth's forces defeated what had once seemed like an unstoppable threat. But the victory came at a price. The battle had sent shockwaves through the galaxy, and now, the final test was coming. The Galactic Council, unwilling to let humanity continue on its path, began to prepare for one final, all-out assault. They knew the children of the gods were powerful, but they had their own weapons, ones that could wipe out an entire planet. Marcus stood before his people, his eyes full of determination. "We have proven we will fight for our future. But now we must offer the galaxy one last chance. If they want peace, we will welcome them. If they want war, we will defend Earth. But no one will stop us from building a future that is free." The children of the gods prepared for the ultimate test. The galaxy had seen their power, and now they would either accept humanity's rise or try to destroy it once and for all. The future of the galaxy, the future of Earth, and the future of the children of the gods were all at stake. The time for negotiation was over. The final battle for the galaxy was about to begin, and humanity would face it not as a divided, weak species, but as gods once more.